Good morning! It is Sunday the 25th of January and I have another Sunday off. And this is actually our last weekend being open at work, so that's me official. I'm donezo. I'm done for the month. Well, the month of February, I mean. So that's me. I'm sorry if you can hear, I'm frying bacon. I'm making my breakfast. Today is actually Burns night in Scotland. I am being a terrible Scot and I am not having haggis, meats and tatties for my dinner. But I am having my parents over and I've got some venison sausages to use. So I'm gonna make a venison sausage stew. Stewed sausages, that's what I meant to say. So that's what I'm doing later. So my parents will probably arrive here maybe at the back of 1 o'clock. So unfortunately today I feel like I'm not going to get much reading or writing done. But yesterday, I'm going to burn the bacon. Yesterday I had a really good writing day and I managed to write 2,000 words. Round of applause for me. I feel like I'm at that point now where I'm past the initial introduction and I'm getting into like a sort of flow state of telling the story. Oh, there's a hole in my bread. Why did I think it'd be a good idea to start filming literally as I'm like prepping my breakfast? So because my parents are coming up, I know I'm not gonna get much reading or writing done. But that's okay because, like I say, I managed to write 2,000 words yesterday. Quite proud about that. I'm at about 6 or 7,000 in total. 6, 7 or 8, it's one of those numbers. It's definitely under 10, it's definitely over 5. So it's somewhere in that bracket. But I'm starting to feel really good about it. I am just giving myself the chance to just sit and type and write and just whatever comes to mind. And if something doesn't quite, if I find myself sticking, this is the problem I do to myself. I put myself into like a bit of a writer's block because I'll get to a roadblock and suddenly I'm like, say it's something so simple, like it's maybe we're meeting an important character or we're naming a place. It's something that I've not come up with yet. And I do like to put a bit of work into these things. I don't like to just, unless it's something simple, like we're meeting a random character on the street and I can give them any name I want because it has no relevance to the plot, they have no relevance to the story, they're just there, I'll give them any name I want kind of thing. And maybe that'll change, but it's one of those things, it's like, it's whatever. But when it comes to other characters that are more important, I like to really think about it and I like to find a name, and sometimes names change. I've had characters that have had names that I just think it's not quite right and I'm forever changing them. I have other characters that have had one name and that name is stuck with them, and no matter how the story's changing or the story's evolving, or I think, is this name quite like actually good enough, or is it compared to the others, does it fit in? I'm also just like, they are literally like the main characters and those are the names I gave them years ago. I can't part with them. That is who they are, it's part of them. I will never be able to change that. So sometimes when I would get to these kind of roadblocks where I'm like, right, I need a name, or I need to name this street or this place, or I'm basing it somewhere in London, but I need to name something, I need to do some research to figure out where I am. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's set in a real place or if it's set in a fictional place, I'm then like scrambling to be like, right, where are we? What are we, like, what's the name of this place? Like it doesn't really matter, but it matters to me. I get myself in a bit of a tizzy trying to like figure out something. Now I'm just like, don't bother, don't worry about it, just gloss over it. And when the time comes that we're going back and we're going through it, that is when we put in the work and the effort and the research and the, right, what is the name of this street and what's the name of that street and what's the name of that corresponding street, so that then we can add all that in afterwards. Because if I sit and I ponder over it, it will throw me off my flow and I'll end up just sitting like staring at it like, oh my god, like I need a name for that. And it's like, no, just keep going, just keep going. So that is what I've been trying to tell myself to just keep going, stop worrying about the small stuff, just tell the story, and then when the time comes, when that is complete, I have a complete first draft, we go back in and we whittle through it all and we make sure everything is neatly wrapped up in a bow. Fingers crossed for that. So I'm quite pleased that I'm doing well so far. I'm happy, I'm pretty satisfied. So I should have some time today before my parents arrive. I think what I'm gonna do is a spot of reading. So the other night I finished reading Midnight in Everwood. So good, I give this 5 stars. It's my first book that I finished in 2026 and it's a 5-star read. So highly recommend it, it's really good. I loved it. It's set at Christmas time, but it's also set in another world. So I wouldn't say, well, it's got a Christmassy feel to it. It's a Nutcracker retelling, or it's centered on the Nutcracker story. So it is a bit Christmassy, but other than that, recommend it. Very much so. So now that leaves me with The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman. I started this book just before or just after Christmas and I'm on page 62. I find these quite easy to read, so I think I'll just maybe sit and read some of this before my parents get here and we'll see how far through it I can get. So that is my plans for today. We'll see how much I actually get done, and yeah, so woohoo.
£560. Deal or no deal?
Thank you again, Banker.
No deal. All is Rob revealing the 10, 20.
Okay, so I have read up to page 120. I'm also on chapter 20 of The Impossible Fortune. Okay, it's good. I am liking it so far. The only thing I will say is I'm a little bit confused by the the company. I'll just say this company, right? So basically at a wedding, one of our main characters, so this is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and the Thursday Murder Club is a group of old age pensioners who live in a retirement village, and to begin with they were solving cold cases together, but now they are involved in real crimes that are happening and they're becoming more well known, and people come to them with problems, or like a crime and murder just seems to find them. So at a wedding, Elizabeth, one of the main characters, is approached by a guy who found a bomb under his car and he's like, I need help, someone's trying to kill me. And he has now gone missing, and his business partner, a girl called Holly, has just been for dinner with the Thursday Murder Club, and they're getting to know a bit more about what this business is that the two of them have, and I have not got a flipping Scooby-Doo. The author did try to explain it, the characters were explaining it, the old age pensioners were understanding what she was talking about, but me, I have not got a flipping Scooby-Doo. I have Bitcoin is mentioned, I'm like, I'm out. I'm immediately out. I have not got a clue what any of this means. So I'm not entirely, I sort of understand, but I don't understand at the same time. I understand what I need to understand to get by, but I don't fully understand. Anyway, but while I was reading, I decided to flick to the back just to see how many pages there were. Because I like to know when I'm reading a book how many pages there are, so that I can then be like, oh, I've got 200 pages to go, or I've got 100, or I've got 70, I've got this, I've got that. I like to know exactly how many pages there are. So when I was flicking through at the back of the book, I always try my hardest not to see any spoilers, because sometimes you find the very last page can just say something. Like, the last word of the book could be, I killed them all, or something, and you'd be like, what? So I always when I get to the acknowledgement page, I sort of just stop there, but I accidentally looked over and I saw a spoiler, and I was like, immediately trying to pretend that I did not see that. I was like, well, I forget. It's almost like I try to delude myself. I try to convince myself that I didn't see that. I didn't see that. It doesn't matter. That wasn't real. That wasn't a real spoiler. So that was me, spoiled a bit for myself. But then the chapter I just finished ended on a bit of a twist, I will say. A twist, a shock, a surprise. Something just happened. And I was shocked by it because I was like, oh my goodness. And that was basically the spoiler that I just saw. So, because I was worried that the spoiler, I don't want to spoil for you what the spoiler is. The spoiler I saw, I was like, oh no, that's probably going to happen like towards the end of the book or like halfway through, or, you know, in the final, it could be in the final showdown. 3/4 of the way through the book, this is probably going to happen. I've ruined it for myself. But no, it's fine because it just happened. I'm so happy. I'm happy. And I was still shocked because I didn't expect it so soon. Like, it was a twist. So thankfully I saw a spoiler, but it was for something that was literally just happening. So that's okay. That is absolutely okay. And I didn't see anything else. So that's fine. I am a little bit suspicious though. But anyway, so my parents are already on their way. But I'm just going to keep reading until they arrive. I reckon they'll probably be here in about 20 minutes, I would say. So I've got 20 more minutes of reading time and then they'll be here. But so far, so good. Like I say, it's pretty good so far. This series I struggled with for the first 3 books. I think the first one was fine. It was just different than I thought. And then the next 2, I wasn't a big fan. But the last one, the 4th one, The Last Devil to Die, was so good. I loved it. It was my favourite one so far. So far this one is okay. It is fine. Again though, what I always find with his books, with this series, there's always so many POVs and so many subplots happening that everything does tend to tie together in the end, or we are getting POVs for characters that further down the line they're actually going to be a suspect, they're going to be involved in some way, they're going to be involved in a way that's like so minuscule it's not a big thing, but yeah, it's just one of those that so many POVs, like there's about 10, there can be about 10, because you've got the main 4 to begin with, then there's Donna, there's Connie, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 10. I'm not joking when I say there's about 10 POVs. There's 10 POVs like every single time. Like every single character that has of any value to the story has a POV. And it can be a bit like, oh my god, like, because I started this book just after Christmas. I only read a couple of chapters, but those first few chapters are where you get the introductory POVs to the other characters that are involved in the story in some way, and I'd already forgotten who people were, so I am like, oh dear. I don't remember what that was, and I can never be bothered backtracking and rereading what I've already read, so oh well. So I'm just gonna keep going just now until my parents get here. So yeah, liking it so far. 120 pages in. Be careful.
Bristling at the idea that Alex Pretty was in some way asking for trouble by bringing a legally held firearm to a demonstration. They say that right is in...
It is 10 o'clock at night now. Oh. Sleepy boy. Are you sleepy? Are you sleepy? Sleeping? You're so precious. It is 10 o'clock at night. My parents headed off just about 9 o'clock, I'd say, so about an hour ago. So I've just been watching an episode of a program that I'm sorry. I don't know how that's happened. Oh, flattened you with a cushion. He is slain. You're slain. Oh. So I've had a really nice day with my parents. So I read up to page, let me just consult. Woo. I read up to page 135 earlier. So a good progress. I think I'm about maybe a quarter of the way through the book, I would say. So I'm thinking I might get ready for bed and I might go and have a little cozy cuddle up in bed with my book. I was editing my video for last Sunday, so I'll maybe upload that as well. So yeah, so that's been... Oh. Why are you pushing against me? I was here first, boy. So I'm thinking maybe just get ready for bed, because why not? It's dark, it's 10 o'clock, but another successful Sunday, I would say. I have read my book. I have 6 days left of January, so 6 days to complete my second book of the month. That is my plan for this year. Is I've set myself a reading goal of 24 books, which I feel like is quite achievable. So I'm thinking as long as I can read 2 books every month, and that is my minimum. Obviously, if I read more than that, that would be perfection, amazing. I have quite a long TBR, like a long TBR. I have so many books that I have not read. I need to put myself on a book buying ban and focus on the ones that I have. We'll see about that. But I'm thinking try to read at least 2 books every month. So I've already finished Midnight in Everwood and now I'm on The Impossible Fortune. So if I can get it finished before January is over, that is great. Maybe even if I might find time and read something else. I don't know. I am feeling in quite a mystery mood, but I'm thinking for February, I might try and save some romance books for that. I don't have many romance books, I don't think. I am mostly a mystery reader, but I do have a few romantasy books, so I could try them. My worry is if I start a book that I'm not that into. I like fantasy, I do, but I'm very slow at reading them. Whereas like a mystery, I'll pick it up and I could finish it that same day, or I could read it in 2 days. Whereas when it comes to like fantasy, romantasy, I'm a lot slower and I tend to just sort of pick it up and put it down and read a couple of chapters here and there. So I'm not sure if I would read it that quickly, but I'm thinking February could be a good romantasy, love, romance month for books. So I need to have a wee look and see what I've got and can do that. So that is my Sunday. Is this the third Sunday? This is the third Sunday of 2026. My goodness me. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall see you in my next one, whatever that may be. And as always, you can check out my socials, which are listed in the description box down below. I have Instagram and I have TikTok, which I'm going to try and post more on both of those because I'm just a queen procrastinator. That's the truth of it. So it's good night from me and good night from him.